Okay, so this video is about distributing overhead. So oftentimes you have some overhead, some expense like a manager's salary. Let's say a manager oversees 3 stores, and each of those stores has another manager that is responsible for that store. Each one of those stores is going to have an income statement that's going to show a profit and loss, and those store managers are going to really pay close attention to that. Now, and they have to show a profit. That's the way it is. Each one of those store managers isn't going to want to have any more operating expenses in that income statement that needs to be there. They want to show that their store is as profitable as it can be, and it is as realistic as it should be. So let's say that there's a regional manager that oversees the different store managers, and that manager's salary has to be spread around. In other words, we're distributing the overhead. It has to be spread over the 3 stores in some logical way. So to do this, to illustrate this, we're going to use Store A, Store B, and Store C. Okay, so this store here has sales of $500,000. We're going to use the sales figures. So basically the size of the store, how well the store sells things, is going to determine, it's probably because the store is bigger. Anyway, so we're going to use sales to divide up. We have to divide up $96,000. This is for the regional manager. Okay, the regional manager has a salary of $96,000, and this needs to be divided. It needs to be divided up into these other stores based on some kind of logic, based on some sort of reasonable way to divide things. So one of the first step we have to do is get the total of the areas that have to be divided. So we're going to add up all these. These are dollars figures. Let's just say it could be a month, it could be a year, it doesn't matter. The point is that these stores are all different sizes, and we don't want to just divide the regional manager's salary into 3 equal pieces, because that's going to make this tiny little store's numbers look bad, and Store B manager is not going to be happy about that. So we have to divide it up more logically. So what we're going to do is first thing we do is we add up all of these, and if you add them all up, you're going to get $1,450,000. Okay, so that would be step one. How much are all the stores combined? Then what we're going to do is we're going to divide each one by that $1,450,000. And we're going to get a decimal 0.3448, and we get 0.1896, and we get 0.4655. We're going to round this to the 100th place, which is this number here. Okay, which is second place. And to do that, we're going to use the number next to it. So 0.4655, well, that's going to equal 0.47, which is going to equal 47%. This is going to equal This 9 is going to make that 8 go up, so this makes this a 19%. You're just going to use normal rounding rules. See a different video, one I did earlier in the trimester if you're confused or ask about normal rounding rules. This is 5th grade stuff. 30, this 4 just makes that, this 4 stays the same. It's 4 or less, let it rest. 5 or more, let it soar. 34%. You add all these up, 34, 19, and 47, what you'll notice is you have 100%, okay? So all we've done is we've gotten store A's percentage of the total, store B's percentage of the total, and store C's percentage of the total. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this 96, so for store A, so here we are going to distribute overhead. Okay, so store A, B, and C. Well, A is 34%. So what we'll do is times 96,000, and come on now. Store B, well, that's 19% times 96,000. And store C is 47%, and we know that's 0.47. It's a little easier to get it into your calculator that way. 96,000. And when we do that, we end up with okay, and what this is basically that $96,000. But this time it's split up. It needs to be divided. Okay, it needed to be divided, and we just chose store sales. Some people would say, well, let's use the square footage of the floor plan. Let's use how much time this manager spends at each store. It doesn't really matter. The store will decide how to distribute the overhead, but it's always going to be based on a total. So this could be square footage, this could be hours spent in a week. Either way, it's dividing up this piece of overhead, okay, $96,000 is going to fall into these stores' income statements and their profit and loss calculations more fairly, more evenly. This is called distribution of overhead. It's on page 383 or 384 of the text. And please feel free to ask any questions. All right, thanks.